Hello everyone and welcome to Jamila's Kitchen. Before we get started today, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, ring that bell, and like my videos. On the menu today at Jamila's Kitchen is cinnamon streusel coffee cake. Please follow along and don't forget in the description below you will find the recipe and instructions. So when I bake anything, I like to always start with the hardest part first to get it out of the way. So I'm going to start with my streusel topping. So far I've added my flour, my brown sugar, and my nuts. And then I'm going to add a pinch of salt and some cinnamon and mix it together. I'm so excited for you guys to taste this cake. It's honestly my favorite cake to have in the morning with my coffee. And once you taste it, you're gonna understand why. So I've sliced my chilled butter into squares to make it easy to form the streusel topping. You can also use a food processor and pulse the dry ingredients with the butter. I'm cutting it up with a fork first and then using my hands and using an older method of creating the little balls of streusel by using 2 butter knives. Okay, so I think you now understand why I start with the streusel topping. It takes a bit of time to make, but it is the best part. Those crunchy streusel pieces are so good. 3 hours later. Okay, so I finished the streusel topping and now it's time for us to make our cake mix. Start off by creaming your butter for a couple of minutes before adding your sugar. Remember, do not cream your butter too much because we don't want it to melt. Okay, so I'm adding in the sugar and I'm going to mix it until it looks fluffy, and that takes about 2 minutes. Next, we're going to add in our eggs. So add in 1 egg at a time and mix after each one. So now that our eggs are mixed, we're going to add in our vanilla. And after the vanilla, we are going to be alternating between the sour cream and the flour. Just a quick tip, when you guys do add in your flour, make sure that your machine is on low so it doesn't fly all over the place. Trust me, I've made that mistake plenty of times. So we are at the final step of our cake batter. We're going to be adding our baking soda, baking powder, and salt. So we have our streusel topping and our cake batter, and now it's time to put this baby together. Using my buttered tube pan, I'm going to spread out half the batter on the bottom of the pan first, and then I'll add some of my streusel. So I'm just going to finish using some of the batter, and I'm going to spread it out really well on the bottom to make sure to cover the entire bottom of the tube pan. Okay, so now it's time to add the streusel, the best part. And make sure you add enough because when you eat that cake, you have a nice crunch and lots of flavor in the middle of the cake. Now I'm going to add the rest of the batter over the streusel topping. Make sure to cover the streusel completely. It's now time to add the rest of the streusel topping, and you're going to add all of the streusel topping on top. So as I add the streusel topping, I'm crumbling it up at the same time so it gives it that streusel look where each piece is separated and not a big clump, because sometimes the butter can melt and clump it together. Another great tip is to press down the streusel topping on the cake batter so as the cake bakes, the streusel doesn't fall off, and when you cut the cake, the streusel holds on tight. We are going to bake this cake at 350 for about 50 to 55 minutes. Drizzle some glaze over your warm cake and enjoy with a hot cup of coffee. Delicious! Thank you for watching Jamila's Kitchen. If you loved my video, please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram and Facebook.